First of all, excuse my face, I was shooting a makeup for my portfolio, which is like for art university, which I want to get into, so I was practicing like makeup and photography, and I thought it wasn't too bad, so I could film with it, even though it might seem a bit weird if you just look at me and I look like a bit too red. I swear I didn't drink and I wasn't too long in the sun because I'm never outside anyway, so it wasn't the sun. I was just practicing some makeup skills, which I obviously don't have. Look at this eyeliner, it's so crooked. No, we're not going to zoom in there. It's not going to happen. We just are going to pretend that this is normal me, even though it's just like very extra me. Creativity is a big part of YouTube, so I'm going to channel my outer creativity today, and we're just going to get into the video, which has nothing to do with creativity but hair. So hey, it's Tani and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about hair, because I have a lot of hair, and it's a struggle to have this much hair, and it's a struggle to get this much hair. Now, whether you believe me or not, I actually didn't grow up with curly hair. Like, until I was 8 years old, my hair was pin needle straight, so I just developed curly hair when I hit puberty, which has been a struggle, because if you grow up with like straight hair and you brush it every day, and suddenly you have this bird's nest on your head and you don't know how to deal with it, that is kind of a struggle, and I had to figure out how to get my hair to look kind of okay. And what's been another struggle, like if you have curly hair, you probably know this struggle, that it's so hard to grow your hair out because there's so much shrinkage happening through the curls. It doesn't seem like your hair grows because it's just going to suck it all up into the curls, and it's just up here, and when you would stretch it, it would be down here, and you're like, why don't you see that my curly hair is actually long? Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to grow your curly hair, how to take care of your curly hair, because I wish I would have known that sooner, and also how to let your hair seem longer even though you have curls in, like me today. Like, if I wouldn't have used the technique I'm going to show you, my hair would probably be up here, and so it's down here now. So the curls get longer with this technique, and that's also what I'm going to show you today. Of course, it always depends on your natural hair type, so what might work for me might not work for everyone. I'm just saying, like, if you have medium curls like I do, like these are more or less my natural curls. They aren't too small and they aren't too big, so it's just a curl, I guess. If you relate to this hair type, which also happens to be extremely dry, like if I don't put oil in it like there's no tomorrow, my hair would look like the desert of Sahara or something like that. I don't know. Really, it's just everything on me is dry. My skin, my hair, my feet. I'm just a crusty girl. So anyway, first of all, how long did it take me to grow my hair out, or how did I grow my hair out? So I always had hair until here, like shoulder length, because I used to go to the hairdresser a lot and always get it cut regularly, and then again also my hair always used to shrink, and I didn't even know, like this is probably the longest my hair has ever been. If I would straighten it, it would literally go to my butt. Like, that's how long my hair actually is right now, which is impressive. I never thought my hair could even reach this length, because there's the thing with how long can your hair even grow, and then there's this natural length. I didn't know my hair could grow this long. So I think what was the problem is that if you have curly hair and you go to the hairdresser a lot, and the hairdresser doesn't know anything about curly hair, you end up getting so much cut off, it's ending up shrinking even more up, and like for me it's also, the shorter my hair is, the smaller my curls are, which is pretty self-explanatory, because if your hair is longer, it's also heavier, so the curls kind of weigh down. So the longer it gets, like an exponential curve, the longer it gets, the bigger your curls get, the longer your hair seems. Now, I have been growing my hair out for 2 years now, and which is because I'm in my last 2 years of school right now, which are like a special secondary kind of school here where I live. So I told myself, until I get my A-levels, I'm going to let my hair grow out. So the whole high school phase of the last 2 years, which all count into your A-levels, I was never at a hairdresser. I haven't been to a hairdresser in 2 years, and I think if you want to let your hair grow out, you need to do that. You can't grow your hair out and get it cut every month or every second month. But what I would recommend for curly hair is that if I noticed that my hair was getting too broken at the end, because the thing is, if your hair gets a lot of splits, it's not going to work. You're not going to get it grown out, because it would just break off before it grows out. If I would see that I have some splits, I would actually cut my hair myself, because if you have curly hair, if you wear it curly a lot, you're not going to see if you cut it yourself, because the curls are all different length anyway, so it's not really that bad. If you cut it a bit like wonky, it's not that bad. So what I would just do, I would just use a hair scissor that I bought from the drugstore, and I just, if I would see splits, especially like after the shower, when you brush your hair through, you would sometimes see those pieces sticking up, and that would be the splits. I would just cut it off. And that way I maintained healthy hair while letting it grow out, because I could decide how much I cut off. I just cut off the splits part. I didn't cut off 2 centimeters and hope that all the splits was gone. No, I cut off just the splits, which I saw. And that took sometimes, I think I did this split cutting technique like twice or 3 times as I was letting it grow out. So it worked pretty well, I would say. And I would definitely recommend, if you want your curly hair to grow out, you can't go to the hairdresser. No. And that's just my personal experience. But I think it is important that if you really want to grow it out, you can't just, at least 1 year without a hairdresser is very necessary. Second of all, if you want to let your hair grow out, you also need it to be healthy and like moisturized and everything. And curly hair is the hardest to stay moisturized. Like all the other hair types are so lucky when they just put something in the hair and it stays shiny for 3 days, and then at the end it gets greasy because there's too much moisture. My hair never gets greasy. There's just dryness everywhere. Dryness haven. So I will show you which product I use in the shower. I always use either like a curl cream afterwards or an oil. Right now I'm using a curl cream, but an oil is also okay. Like it just depends on what you like better. Right now in the winter time I like the cream better, but in summer I often use the oil, especially when I want to go in the second or third day, which I haven't washed my hair, because I wash my hair like 3 times a week, which might seem a lot for curly hair because sometimes they only wash it like 2 times a week, but I prefer 3 times, first of all, because I do lots of sports, so my hair gets like all tangled up, and curly hair, you can't really wear curly hair 3 days out. I have this internal shower catalog in my head which says like, okay, so my curly hair was washed yesterday, so tomorrow it should be good, and the day after it could be good with a bun, but then you need to wash it because it just gets too tangled. And as you probably know, you must never brush curly hair in its dry state. Only brush it when it's wet, please. I didn't know that, and that's so important. I brush my hair, actually, it's either like after the shower or in the shower when I have my conditioner in. Like, I like it best when I have the conditioner in because it's easier to detangle it then, but it's just also personal preference again. So, now for the shower. Of course I use shampoo. I noticed that shampoo is totally irrelevant to curly hair. I could use any shampoo and would be okay. However, the conditioner is another thing. I used tons of conditioners in my life. I think I tried out nearly every conditioner in my drugstore. I'm going to show you the 2 that I'm using right now. They work pretty well for me. I would say, like, I also have to switch it up every so often because it feels like my hair gets used to the conditioner after a while, like a drug, and then I need to change it up so it gets the moisture again. It doesn't get too, I don't know, I don't really know, it just gets used to the conditioner, and it doesn't work after like 3 months and I need a new conditioner. So, well, conditioner, I think the only thing that's very important with conditioner is that there's really no silicones, no parabens, like all that stuff that they tell you not to put in your hair. Just do never put it in curly hair as well, because curly hair is the worst. It's so sensitive sometimes. It's just a very moisturizing conditioner. I always just look that it's natural and that it's moisturizing for dry hair or like burnout hair, just like that, like a very moisturizing conditioner, and then it will work. I also use a hair mask once a week sometimes only once a month. However, like if I have one there, I use it once a week, and if I don't, then I'm just going to buy one at the end of the month and do one. And for hair masks, again, I just like to use the same mask that I have at the conditioner because I feel like it complements each other if you use the 2 products from the same line, and you can just use what's best for you. So now for the trick that makes your hair seem longer. After I wash it, and this is the most important part, after you step out of the shower and you moisturize your hair with the oil or curl product, whatever, that is the part that is the key element to how your curls are going to look afterwards, because in its wet state they start to build themselves. And what I do, because I wash my hair at night, I can't wash it in the morning, it would take too long to dry, and it don't blow dry ever. That's another tip. If you want to let your hair grow out, don't blow dry it and don't straighten it. Just don't use heat for at least just if you want to straighten it once a year, maybe. I used, like, as I was growing my hair out, I straightened it once in 2 years. And that might seem pretty extra if you straighten it a lot, but you want to grow it out. You don't want to use any heat on it. It would just break the whole hair down. And also with blow drying, if you get around it, if you can get around it in some way, don't blow dry it. So anyway, after the shower, when you get out of the shower and your hair's all wet and pretty long and you're like, oh, I wish I had straight hair because then it would be so long. Yeah, that's maybe just me. Then what you want to do is what I like brush it through again, put the curl product in, and then I put my hair into a low bun. Yes, I put my hair into a low bun. This might seem pretty, like, why would you do that? Isn't it that bad? You don't have the curls then? No, because in that bun, it all stays kind of organized. And because I sleep on it overnight, the next morning the bun is still a bit wet inside because I have so much hair. And when I open it up then, it's just the right kind of wet and already dry that the curls can, like, dry very pretty. They dry then in like 10 minutes after I open it up the next morning. And then they just dry very, very pretty. It's just something that really works for me. And why this is also good is because if you have it in a low bun, the top hair of your head remains very straight when it dries and you don't get as much curls here. So that is the part that will lengthen your whole hair, because you have like kind of straight wavy hair until here, and then you get these pretty curls, and it gets much longer than it would if you would just let it air dry and you would get curls from up here, here. So you really save an extra inch of at least hair which you would having curls otherwise. Anyway, that's kind of it for my hair video. I just hope that you learned at least something on how to take care of this bad hair. I always wished I had straight hair, but now I kind of accepted my curly hair kind of, and now that I know how to work with it, it's much easier. Curly hair is never the same, which is something that I really love about it, and I just want to spread curly hair positivity, I guess, because I know there are many girls out there who straighten their curls every day. Anyway, I wish you the best luck with your curly hair. If you liked this video and you want to see more of me, or I don't know, my hair, I guess, then you could subscribe to this channel down below. It would really make me happy, or you could leave a thumbs up, which would also help out the channel. You can see my last video, which is like a no makeup talk over there, if you want to see me without a bunch of makeup on my face. And then anyway, until next time, bye, be back on my channel.